Grace and Christine, just a little bit chaotic at the moment because we're getting word just a few feet away that there may be a press conference shortly, possibly with the mayor and the FDNY. So we're keeping one ear peeled to that and then another ear peeled to what all the witnesses have been telling us since we arrived here. When we arrived here, I could see some people running from the building, others walking out single file in a very calm and controlled way. And as we were driving closer to this building that is now directly behind me because we had to move, I couldn't tell if it was smoke coming out of the top of the building or fog coming out of the top of the building. The NYPD just moved all of the press to a different area. We were right at the corner of 51st and 7th a short time ago. They moved us more to the middle of 51st now, and I wish I could show it to you, but we're just tightly, actually my cameraman is saying we can show it to you. Behind me, I'll go this way. Again, bear with me, guys. Right behind us in front of 790 51st, you can see the FDNY was prepared here with stretchers, certainly preparing for a much greater mass casualty situation. There were several stretchers here when we got here. At this point, we're only being told that it was the single pilot, excuse me, sir, the single pilot who passed away in this incident. And I know you guys have been talking to it since you got on the air. Incredibly remarkable that there were no other deaths. And at this point, no other injuries except for perhaps just a couple of trample injuries, but nothing too serious. And when you hear the words aircraft into a building, your mind just goes to the worst possible place and you assume that there are going to be several deaths. But right now, only the pilot is confirmed to be dead. Sean, if we can move this way again, I'll come back to where the fire trucks are parked and where we're being told to stand. Part of the reason NYPD moved us from that block a little while ago is because several of the firefighters, about a dozen of them who were in that building, were coming out to get their rest and to get back into the truck and to get dry. We could smell the smoke as they walked past us. Several of them were covered in soot, and you just knew right away that those were the guys who were up there attending to where this crash actually happened on the roof. Again, from where we stand, if there is significant damage to that building, you can't tell from here, but you can see fog. Again, going back to the point we've been making all day, should have never been flying in this kind of weather in the first place, and never mind the fact that this is restricted airspace. So part of the investigation is going to be trying to find out why this pilot was flying in the first place, but all indications at this point were that it was not terrorism. We spoke to the governor about an hour ago as he got on scene and was briefed by the NYPD and state troopers. Here's what he told us about what he was learning.
The preliminary information is that there was a helicopter that made a forced landing, emergency landing, or landed on the roof of the building for one reason or another. There was a fire that happened when the helicopter hit the roof. People who were in the building said they felt the building shake. The fire department believes the fire is under control. There may have been casualties involved and people in the helicopter.
And as you speak to people who've been down on the street here, so many people say they were scared to death when they heard the noise that the crash made. They didn't know if it was a plane crashing into a building, if it was an explosion of some sort, if it was terrorism. And a lot of people who say that they didn't see it happen, they certainly felt it happen. Even in buildings across the street, they say they felt them shake. They felt the ground shake. And of course, your mind goes to the worst possible point. What you heard from the governor just a short time ago, extremely preliminary information. As I said, right at the top of this report, we think that there's going to be a news conference shortly with the mayor, the FDNY, the NYPD, and possibly state troopers. It looks like they are setting up for something just a couple of feet away. Again, it is a mob scene here right now with press and emergency responders. But as soon as we get some more concrete info, or as soon as we learn that there is more definitive information coming, we will certainly certainly bring that to you live. For now, Christine, Maurice, I'll send it back to you.
Jessica, I got a question for you here in just a second, but I just want to say that the mayor's office is telling us that the fire's been extinguished and the FDNY continues to operate in response to fuel leaking from the chopper. They're telling people to avoid the area, obviously, and to let first responders do their work. So FDNY operating in response to fuel leaking from the chopper, we imagine that's on the roof. What I wanted to ask you is, have you had any indication or any sense of any debris raining down off the roof of this building? Because, I mean, at this point, if that's not the case, that's just incredible and remarkable and all that at this point.
One of the most shocking things about this whole accident, Maurice, when I first got here, we were hearing some preliminary info that there might be a small debris field actually where I'm standing. But as you can see, that is not the case. And what our sources with the NYPD are saying is that there is no debris field, that this crash landing was confined to that very small space, which again is truly remarkable. I mean, when you consider what could have happened if there was debris flying from the building, we're in the middle of Midtown Manhattan. People could have certainly gotten hit in the head. They could have gotten killed by that. But a very small space this was confined to. Again, it was just a single pilot on that helicopter. So no debris on the ground that we can see. And I'm unable to smell any of that fuel that you're talking about. I still do smell some smoke in the air. And again, the scent of the smoke and the soot on those firefighters as they came out of that building was very, very strong just about 15 minutes ago. I think they're in their truck right now getting some very well-deserved R&R. And we're being told to clear the sidewalk again. So as soon as we land in our new spot, Christina, Maurice, I'll join you once again.
Okay, Jessica.
Thank you.